teachers, Arlene, John, the staff, volunteers. They make this such a wonderful evening for us. So let's really give them a round of applause. I have a few notes that I wanted to share with you, and I want to make sure they do go noticed, because for one, as an employee of Alliant Energy, I wanted you to know for the second consecutive year, I'm very proud to tell you that in the name of the Sun Prairie Emergency Food Pantry Christmas Concert, they have donated $5,000 to the cause. So that's great. And since we last met a year ago, over 500,000 pounds of food has been distributed to those in need in the Sun Prairie community. Close to 7,000 times families have used the food pantry, whether it's the food pantry, the mobile food pantry, or the Thanksgiving food baskets. So as I look at those statistics, I always wonder, how do we do that? It's like a miracle that we're able to pull that off. And I could stand here for a very long time and recite all the reasons as to why that works. But every once in a while you come across a really special story, and if you'll just indulge me for a minute, I'd like to read that story to you, and I wanted to put it to word here because I really didn't want to screw it up, because it really is a special story. So it goes like this. It's Thursday, May 26, 2005, and 2 reconnaissance helicopters lifted off from their base in Baghdad. The choppers were supporting combat operations to curb rising insurgency in the area. Not long after that, both choppers took on small arms fire near Maritz, a former Saddam Hussein stronghold about 35 miles north of Baghdad. One chopper made it back, the other shot down, killing the 2 young soldiers aboard. It's Wednesday, November 17, 2010. A mother, 2 young children knock on the door at the Sun Prairie Emergency Food Pantry. Now, one might assume that they are in need of help, since many of our clients are single moms with young children. But not tonight, not this family. Although the food pantry was closed, Mom asked if they might be able to drop off some food for the pantry. When asked where such a sizable donation came from, Mom reported that her son had just turned 6 and had a birthday party with his kindergarten pals. Instead of gifts, the kids were asked to bring food that would be donated to the food pantry. Over 130 pounds of food was collected, enough to provide over 100 meals for those in need. While this isn't the first time a child donated to the food pantry in lieu of birthday gifts, it's still amazing that such a young man can think beyond himself. At that age, to forego birthday presents is a sacrifice of epic proportion. And if that wasn't sacrifice enough, consider this. The family stopping by the food pantry that cold November night was Sherry, her daughter Trinity, and son Cross. You might recognize them by their last name, Scott, as in Chief Warrant Officer Joshua Scott, who perished when the helicopter he was flying came under attack and crashed over 5 years ago. Much was written, and deservedly so, about Josh at the time of his death. Many still mourn such a significant and tragic loss of life. For Sherry and her young family, the ultimate sacrifice that Josh made for his country is one they continue to make every day. Some might become hardened by the cruel reality war can bring, and others lose hope and give up. Not this mom and not these kids. Rather, they seem to carry on in the same way that Josh did, thinking of others before themselves. Josh shared the following thought in an email he sent from Baghdad to his family approximately 6 months before his death. There isn't a day that passes that I don't thank God for the blessings we have at home. The living conditions of the people over here are horrible. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. When we are over here roughing it, we live better than 95% of the population. Even the basics like water are luxuries. Although Cross was only 1 month old when Josh was deployed to Iraq in November of 2004, that old adage about the apple not falling far from the tree could not be more appropriate. Sherry, Trinity, and Cross have honored a husband and a father in the highest fashion possible. Through their actions, truly his legacy lives on through their loved ones. Sherry and the family couldn't be with us tonight, but she did. I asked permission to share that story, and she responded this way. First off, I can't thank you enough for the kind words that you have written about my husband. He is indeed a great man who inspired all that knew him, and as you mentioned, he still inspires us every day. I have to admit, I am impressed that you're able to locate all the information in such a small amount of time, and I'm sad we won't be able to share it Friday night with you. One of my goals after Josh died was to ensure his memory lived on and continue to touch as many people as possible. My children emulate him so completely that it is often not hard to be reminded of his goal to make others' lives easier. Thank you for helping us carry on his legacy, as well as showing my children kindness does not go without notice. It was never our intention to be recognized, but we are so honored and very proud we are able to help. The fact that my children can see how much good can come from selfless acts is a lesson money couldn't buy. Now there's an interesting footnote to this story because Sherry's grandpa is here tonight, and that's Gene Gerke, who is another reason why we continue to make this. Gene, you want to stand up? Let's give Gene a hand for all the work that embodies what the food pantry is about in its highest form, and it's that kind of act of kindness that goes on day in and day out. And I hope that as we enjoy the concert, we can reflect on that. So in closing, I would just say, God bless, Merry Christmas, enjoy the concert, and thank you sincerely for the support that you give the Sudbury Emergency Food Pantry.